Let me stay on program, y'all, because we have seen a little bit of movement in this lawsuit that Bishop has filed against Duane Youngblood. And I'll tell you one thing. I really don't know why Bishop thinks this is the best way to deal with this mess, especially in light of the fact that this is not the only rumor out there about him. I mean, I really don't see that this man has said anything different than what so-called Prophet Manasseh said on the very same Larry Reid live show. And I honestly would take Bishop more seriously if he would not let himself be pulled down in the mud like this. I mean, I would not give Larry Reid the pleasure of knowing that he is actually living rent-free in Bishop's head. But clearly, Bishop could not resist the urge of making such a risky move because we all know that his ass is messy as hell. But as you can see here on this docket sheet, when Bishop filed this lawsuit on the next day when he claims he was in the ICU, the lawyers improperly filed it without listing each one of the Doe defendants separately, which caused the clerk to issue a notice letting them know that they needed to do so. In addition, this also needed to be corrected on the summons. So on December the 2nd, 2024, they filed a new summons as well, which was issued by the clerk after it was corrected. Now, this tells me that this Pennsylvania attorney does not regularly file complaints in federal court, or it could be that these are really civil defense attorneys who are not really accustomed to filing lawsuits on the plaintiff's side. But there are a few interesting details nonetheless, because they are addressing this summons to Duane Youngblood's attorney when Larry Reid recently said that the attorney said that he would not accept service of this lawsuit on behalf of Duane Youngblood. But this wouldn't be the first time that Larry Reid has said something that was going to happen that never did, because we're still waiting on that Manasseh Jordan lawsuit. Oh, but I guess that ain't none of my business, y'all. And I guess all I'm really saying is that I probably would have had the clerk to also issue a summons directly addressed to Duane Youngblood, and I would have just served him directly. But it seems that they probably do not know how to get in touch with him. In addition to the failure to properly list all of the Doe defendants separately, the court also notified the attorneys that they failed to file the required citizenship disclosure statement to certify that they have the right to file this diversity of citizenship lawsuit, because the only way the court can have jurisdiction is if all of the parties on each side of the lawsuit are from different states, with the defendants being residents of Pennsylvania. So, this is why I personally can't see Larry Reid being added to this particular lawsuit, because there would be no due process, and I don't see how they would be able to bootstrap jurisdiction of a Pennsylvania court over Larry Reid if he actually really does reside in Georgia and he broadcasts the show from Georgia. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And it is also very interesting that Bishop has this lawyer in New York as well, who is posted up right in the backyard of that ratchet attorney that Duane Youngblood is using. And you can just go back and watch those prior episodes, but he was admonished directly by the federal judge in New York in those cases. And so, as you can see, the judge has signed orders granting Bishop's motion to have this New York attorney pro hac vici'd into the case, as well as on December the 4th, 2024, the court granted the pro hac vici motion, giving this attorney out of Washington, D.C. also permission to be barred into the court to represent Bishop in this Pennsylvania federal court. And so, it gives the appearance that Bishop is serious about pursuing this mess. And I guess I better stay focused and remain on program so we can receive the announcements from the Lighthouse Church. Because I guess this year, instead of Pastor Keon and Lady Shaunie attending New Year's Eve service at the Potter's House Church, this year they will have their own New Year's Eve watch night service.